Hi, everybody. It's Christine, and I hope you're doing well. I'm very, very happy that today I could meet my friend Nicola Shubrook. She's a beautiful and wonderful friend of mine and colleague. She's a nutritional she's a nutritional therapist and hypnotherapist based in London. And I welcome you warmly.
Thank you.
Because
Thanks for having me.
Yes, because I think nutrition is a very interesting topic. I have no idea about nutrition at all. You know, I eat and drink almost everything, but I know, of course, that the mind is very much influenced by the gut and vice versa. And so you're going to say some things today about how nutrition is important when you suffer from anxiety, which might be very interesting for one or the other right now. And as an added bonus, you give us the top 3 nutrients and food that people would need right now to keep mentally and physically fit and healthy.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay. So, thank you. Thank you for having me on. So, nutrition, I think we all underestimate the power that nutrition has on our mental health. And it's an area that I've been working in sort of over 10 years now. And I see it all the time that nutrition is so important. And the main reason being is we get all the nutrients that we need from the food we eat. And therefore we want to be getting the right nutrients that our brain needs in order to function. But the gut, there's what we could have the gut-brain axis. So kind of anxiety is a thought, isn't it? It's kind of, we have a thought and we keep overthinking, or we keep trying to think about what if this happens, I'll do this. If this happens, I'll do that. But what happens in that, when the brain has that thought, the body interprets that thought as stress. And so it kicks the body into fight and flight mode as a bit of a survival mechanism. It's kind of innate in all of us, because I'm sure we all know some people who get through stress really easily. They're just like super chilled and like nothing phases them. And then we have the ones who are really overthinking and really manic and like, oh my God, I can't sleep and I'm really worried about all this stuff. So it's often about our thought processes and what we believe is a real or perceived threat. Anyway, what happens is the pituitary, which is like our third eye, sends out signals for hormones to be released to put us into fight and flight mode. So it releases cortisol, which is our stress hormone. And one of the sort of chain reactions of that is to release insulin, which is what helps regulate our blood glucose levels. And part of that whole process is about moving energy to the parts of your body you would need the most to either run away from what that threat is or fight it. So that fight or flight.
Right.
Some people are now calling it fight, flight or freeze, because often I think with anxiety and in current states, we're not literally physically running away from our threats. We're sitting at our desks or at home just going, oh my goodness, I'm really stressed. Physically, what happens is blood flow moves away from the digestive system.
Because you don't need it.
You don't need it. And I think it's about 20% of your body's energy is used by the digestive system. So if you were to move 20% extra energy into your muscles, into your heart, into your lungs in order to run away from that threat, that's what you're going to want, isn't it? But these days that reaction still happens, which is why then sometimes people get a lot of IBS when they get stressed.
Right.
Because blood flow starts to reduce the function of the gut. And so then what we're eating can't be absorbed as well. Often we tend to grab more sugary junk foods because we either need caffeine to keep us going, or we want comfort in chocolate and crisps and cakes and things. So again, exactly. And then the nutrient status of that food goes down. And then what happens is your gut can't make all the nutrients it needs and get it back up to the brain again. So then the anxiety gets worse because you get caught in this negative loop.
Right.
So actually when we're anxious, what we eat should really go up. So normally what happens is our to-do list and stress levels go up and diet and well-being tend to come down and go out the window. But actually what we need to do is reverse it the other way up. We need to be paying more attention to what we're eating. So some of the other reason for that is our microbiome, our gut bacteria. So our gut is filled, particularly the large intestine, is full of good microbes. And they help regulate both our immune system, but also the gut is responsible for making so many of our neurotransmitters, which are our brain chemicals. So serotonin is involved in motility of the gut, as well as being our happy hormone. So again, the gut really comes into play in terms of how we feel mentally by producing these hormones. So there's 3 really key nutrients that I say to anybody who's struggling with anxiety that they have to be getting into the diet.
What are they?
What are they? The first one is a little bit harder to get through diet, but it's vitamin D. Mm-hmm. So there's lots to talk about vitamin D at the moment because of the coronavirus and its role in immunity. But vitamin D we get mainly from the sun, but you can find it in, so the sun comes in a form called vitamin D3, but you can make, so that's when the sun hits the skin and it converts into vitamin D, or you can get it from food. So it's your oily fish. So it's your salmon, your mackerel, your anchovies. You can also get it in mushrooms. If you put mushrooms on the windowsill, they actually increase in vitamin D.
Didn't know that.
There are products like a lot of foods now, certainly in the UK, are fortified. So fortified milks and cereals all tend to come with vitamin D in. So we can get it from foods, but vitamin D is so important in our brain health and how we feel. It really, so particularly in the beginning of the year, a lot of people suffer from seasonal affective disorder. Again, that can often be due to the lack of light, and vitamin D can play a role in that. You can look at all the research to see that vitamin D is involved in anxiety and depression and low mood. So that is like, particularly for us living in the Northern Hemisphere, we tend to get less of the sunshine, and over winter, it's not strong enough even on a sunny day for the skin to be able to make vitamin D. So supplementation is often a really good route.
But at the same, sorry.
That's right.
But at the same time, you don't want to expose your skin too much to the sun, right?
You only need 15 minutes a day. 15 minutes a day without any SPF on is normally enough to get enough vitamin D for that day. Because it's also a fat-soluble hormone, so the body stores it. If, however, anybody has darker skin, so black, olive, Asian skins, they are more likely to be deficient in vitamin D because vitamin D competes with melanin, which is what gives skin its color. So the darker the skin, the harder it is for the body to make vitamin D. So it's something that often I say to my clients, you know, go and get it checked with your GP, go and get it checked with your doctor, or there's private tests you can do to just see where your vitamin D levels are at. But with anxiety, it's a really, really important one to help support moods. The next one then is omega-3. So your essential fatty acid called omega-3. And again, the body can't make this on its own. It has to come from food. And again, it's your oily fish. They're your main sources. So I often use the acronym SMASH fish. So SMASH stands for sardines, mackerel, anchovies, salmon, and herring. Woo. They're kind of your top 5.
Ooh, I need to write that down.
Sardines.
Yes.
M for mackerel, A for anchovies, S for salmon, H for herring.
Good.
They're your top 5 kind of omega-3s. There are some plant-based omega-3 foods like chia seeds, walnuts. I'm trying to think what the other one is now. Chia seeds, walnuts, algae, if you're vegan. But so if you took a piece of salmon and that gave you X amount of omega-3, to get the same amount of omega-3 out of chia seeds, you'd have to eat something like 10 tablespoons a day. So it's quite a lot because the body converts it in a different way. So if people aren't eating, if they're vegetarian or vegan, then again, I often say to people, do you know what? Supplementation is a good route for omega-3. You can buy vegan omega-3 supplements, which are normally algae-based, but your brain is 60% fat. Every cell in your body has like a fat membrane around it. The body needs fat. It just has to be the right kinds of fats, not the junk foods and the fried foods and things. They're okay every now and then. But when we're talking about anxiety and supporting brain health, I always make sure at least twice a week, 2 portions of oily fish in the diet. And
I love oily fish.
Yeah, I do too, actually. Love it. The third one then is magnesium. So magnesium is your body's natural relaxer. And often when we're anxious, we use it up quite a lot. Right. When we're stressed, we use magnesium up quite a lot. So sometimes even though your diet can be really good, if your stress and anxiety is really high, you might not be getting enough magnesium in. And again, it comes in the form of your whole grains like oats and brown rices and wheats, lentils, beans, and green leafy vegetables. Like every time I have dinner, I'm like, where's the green? You know, whether that's broccoli or spinach or kale. Always kind of saying, right, where's the green? Because when you're anxious, you need a lot more magnesium, and it helps the body relax. So I often ask clients if you ever get, like you can get like a twitchy eye nerve sometimes,
Yes.
or you get cramps in your feet, particularly at night.
Mhm.
That can sometimes indicate you're deficient in magnesium.
Right.
Also, if you find at night that your brain's racing, or you are a terrible sleeper, magnesium before bed can just help take the edge off and help you fall asleep. So often I say to clients about Epsom bath salts.
Right.
They can be quite good
Mm-hmm.
for allowing because basically you get in a bath with some Epsom bath salts, and then the skin absorbs the magnesium. It's not a high dose, but that can sometimes help. So magnesium is another one I'm always saying to people: make sure you're getting nuts and seeds, green leafy vegetables. It's whole foods. When we eat foods in their whole natural form, we're going to get the maximum nutrients that come in. So they'd probably be my top 3.
Yeah, vitamin D, omega-3, and magnesium.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah,
I think
my top
that's
3.
absolute excellent tips here. And I'm very happy we have the fish and lentils and beans and stuff mentioned, because I like it. And
Good,
broccoli. I should again eat more of that. So thank you very much for those tips. It's really absolutely great. And if people want to find out more about you, how can they find you?
Okay, so I'm on both Instagram and Facebook. So just look for Urban Wellness UK. And then you can also just go to my website, urbanwellness.co.uk. Nice and easy.
Wonderful. So thank you very much
you
for giving that excellent little talk and the tips. And I wish everybody out there stay healthy, stay fit mentally and physically, eat well and be well. Speak soon. Thank you.